Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Talk Anime, the only anime news source you need to be listening to. Today I'm back with my co-host Christian,
Yo, what's up, people? I'm back.
and before we get started today, I would just like to say we send our best wishes to Texas right now, especially down in Houston, where a lot of our voice actor friends are from. They're currently getting hit by a disastrous Hurricane Harvey. Um, and from the updates we've been seeing on Facebook and Twitter, it's pretty nuts down there right now. So just like to keep them in our best wishes, and hopefully everything's all right with them. But other than that, we are still doing our Attack on Titan wall scroll giveaway. That's still going strong right now. I think we're about a third of the way to the goal we want to be, a quarter of the way from
Somewhere
where
in
we
that ballpark.
started. That's where we're sitting at right now, guys. We're at about 769 to 770 some subscribers right now. We're trying to get to 1200 before we give this away. But definitely check that out. The link for that's going to be below. It has almost the entire main cast on there, so it's really an awesome item that you really can't get anywhere else. We've spent years getting these signatures on there. And we're also going to be donating $300 to a charity of your choice out of the 10 that we have listed there as well. That's going to be under your name. Also, check out our buddy Blake Shepard, one of our friends that's from Houston. He's doing an animated series called Robot Girl, which he's going to be releasing in the near future at some point. I know for the Patreons, he released a trailer for the show, and it looks fantastic. Were you able to check that out, Christian?
I myself was. It looks very epic.
It looks excellent. So definitely check out his Patreon to help support him with that. Also check us out on Twitter at the Ohio Guys, where you can keep up with all the latest stuff going on with us. Also check out our other series as well, our voice actor interviews. We just had a couple really awesome ones go up. Our one with Jeremy from what's that? I believe it's from Katsucon with that one. And then we also just had one with Christina Marie Kelly go up as well. So definitely check those out and check out all of our gaming videos if you enjoy those. Um, I know I don't have my latest episodes up on the channel from the stream I did, but definitely check those out because they are hilarious. Definitely check out Mike's series. He's going to be switching over to the new Senran Kagura when it comes out here in September. But until then, he's still playing Friday the 13th, and he's playing. What else is he playing, Christian?
Did you
Sonic.
see?
Sonic, that's what he's playing.
Yes, Sonic.
He hasn't played that Daddy game in a while now, so I don't know what
Yeah,
he's doing with that.
yeah. We'll keep it in mind just in case he comes back
Right.
to it.
But definitely check that out. Justin and I, we're just starting a new game, Sakura Shrine Girls, which that game looks like it's going to be ridiculous among. And then I'm going to be continuing my playthroughs of Senran Kagura Bon Appetit and Gale Gun. Which one is it? I can't remember. Double Piece. So definitely be on the lookout for those episodes here in the near future. But anyways, let's get right into it this week. Biggest piece of news: Netflix and anime. Is it good? Is it bad? We'll see. But
Mhm.
there's definitely some interesting stuff going on with that. I know in our previous episode, I think it was our previous one, Christian. I know you weren't able to take place in that one, but Netflix has announced a bunch of different shows they're going to be doing. A lot of pretty much all of them are exclusives, I believe. Besides a few that are currently airing in Japan right now, and they're going to release at a later date. But their anime slate that happened in Tokyo a few weeks ago, they announced a ton of stuff that's going on.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, just a ton of different shows. And along with that, there's been some a little controversy with between them and the anime industry, but with how they've been distributing those shows on their streaming service.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
like with what's happened with My Witch Academia, what's going to be happening with the Fate series that's they're going to be airing, which is currently airing in Japan right now. It's not going to be available till November. The gambling series Kakaguri, it's not going to be available until first quarter 2018. So I think that's going to be around January, they said. But there was some insightful stuff in this because I've generally had a pretty negative opinion about Netflix with anime. And honestly, hearing some of the stuff that's going on here is kind of changing my opinion on the subject. There's a film critic that's worked with Netflix and does anime movies, and
Hmm.
he was on an interview. Um, Tama Hero Makayama, and he's done stuff. He's been a scriptwriter on Attack on Titan films, and among other things. And he was discussing Netflix and its growing involvement in the film, entertainment, anime industries. And kind of the gist of the interview was how Netflix is heavily investing in the anime industry in Japan. Um, if you aren't aware of what kind of goes on with this in Japan, it's it's not really a way to make like a good living, barely a sustainable living there, with how little the uh, different companies pay your directors, writers, animators, that sort of a thing. I think probably the people who make out best from it's probably voice actors there because they can do multiple different shows and
Hmm.
they're getting paid by the companies where the creators and everything aren't aren't as highly paid.
And
So,
voice actors also, and the voice actors actually do some music too, some singing.
right, a lot of them do a lot of singing there. So
So they
that's a
also have
big
it.
thing.
There's another form of payment they're getting because of their
Right.
other.
And events, that sort of a thing.
Hmm.
So they have other ways to make money compared
And
to like an animator.
and some of them are on-screen actors, either on movies and TV shows too. So they're all-around actors from different mediums.
Right. Um and he mentioned how like uh how Netflix dumps so much money into their original series where like one episode of one of their original series like say any of just about any of them is more money than is dumped into a lot of anime for the entire show,
Hmm.
which is pretty insane. And he mentions here Netflix live action series have 5 times the budget of a Japanese film. Excuse me, a film, not a series. Um, 5 times the budget in one episode of Netflix's show. So what Netflix is allowing content creators there for anime in Japan is it's allowing them to have a essentially a living expense. Like they're not having to struggle while doing something that they like, which is fantastic for the industry in a whole. I mean, that's where it starts from and then it comes over here. So, I mean, you want them to succeed over there. I know in the article he mentioned that a certain director was making a film. He was on the verge of starvation for and while he was making the film for 5 years with no income at all. Which,
Oh God.
yeah, that in Japan in general isn't very friendly to the anime industry as a country to a certain extent. It's not the like I guess it's kind of looked down upon by a lot of people there, which is quite unfortunate. Um, I know in the article they also talk about how um, I believe it's France has actually banned Netflix in its country because
What?
of yeah, and how Japan could potentially do the same thing because they don't want Netflix getting involved in that industry and help and for the life of me I can't understand why besides the fact that they don't want to see it succeed.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Like here's what it let me find if I can the part in the article here. There's a big paradigm shift happening in the entertainment industry. Until now, people making films and anime in Japan have suffered their lives in poverty. Suddenly, people with 10 or 20 times the budget appeared, and it is becoming a world where they say it's okay to make it no matter how much money it takes. Obviously, that's Netflix paying them the money to make this. Um, Yeah, he goes on to say different projects that wouldn't be greenlit through other companies are now being greenlit through Netflix. Um, and here's where he says he thinks that a full-blown war with Netflix will start in the media world in Japan, and it'll look like an invasion of a former American military, is how he puts it. Um, and then he says, as an example, France has elevated its country's fight with Netflix. He said that the country essentially avoided an American invasion, quotations over the invasion, by blocking Netflix from France. Because I
That
guess
sounds.
they see it as an American company trying to get involved um, in their business when it's actually a very good thing for the industry in a whole there. And I've honestly like reading these articles about this has like I said has completely changed my opinion because Christian,
Mhm.
I've generally had a negative opinion of Netflix dabbling in the anime industry.
You've discussed in great lengths about that in the past.
And I mean, I'll be the first to admit that I was completely wrong. They are doing great things. I mean, I still think that they're bungling the distribution of shows that are currently airing. Of course. I mean, I want to
Mhm.
watch those shows right now. What fan would say otherwise? But what they're doing as a whole for the industry over there is fantastic, and hopefully, um, they don't run into any roadblocks along that way because what they're doing is great. I mean, giving these content creators freedom to do what they want to do, and making sure that they're compensated how they should be is amazing.
Yeah. Basically, they know what they're getting their money's worth. Like, let them handle the creativity, and then once it's all finished, then they package it and sell it.
Right.
They know there's worth instead of them sticking their fingers in the pot before it's done.
Oh yeah, and it's. I mean, I didn't. I knew that there were a lot of issues with trying to make a living doing this in Japan. I mean, there are other companies that are helping. I mean, I forget the exact company, but I know in a previous podcast episode, there was a company that's actually paying for people to go to school to do this, to be an
That's
animator.
Sunrise.
Yes, Sunrise.
Sunrise, the grandfather of all anime companies.
Right. So, I mean, I don't think all the Japanese animator, or at least their distribution companies or publishing companies like that, are trying to stick it to their people and pay them as the least amount as possible. But it is hard. It is really hard to make it over there as an animator.
Yeah, it is.
That's just a
You, you
fact.
you hear the stories, you see news of some creator dying because they got sick, they got malnourished, or the bodies couldn't take it. Like the rants all over the walls.
Oh yeah, and you see it a lot, especially with manga writers. I know this is a step away from Netflix because they don't do anything with that, but just from having to get so many like volumes out by the time to meet deadlines, I mean, a lot of them die by the time they're 50. That's something common to see,
Hmm.
which is insane because I believe Japan has one of the highest life expectancies in the world.
Yeah, I
So it's
mean,
pretty insane for that sort of thing. But that's kind of a different topic.
yeah,
But Netflix shifting its focus even more to the anime industry. It seems like a win for now. So, I mean, I don't see any negatives to this at all. I mean, they're paying these people what they should be paid, and they're going to be getting the content out there. And like I've said this before too. If it's a Netflix original show and they're just going to debut it by throwing all the episodes online at once, I have no problem with that. My only issue, like I said, I want to watch the shows that are currently airing in Japan now, but can't always get what we want.
Patience is a virtue, my friend.
It is, unfortunately. um, but otherwise, along with the topic of Netflix here, they're going to be adding the rest of Little Witch Academia episodes.
Neat.
Episodes 14 through 25, which I've been meaning to check that show out. I love Trigger, and they're one of my favorite animation studios. And I've been meaning to watch that show. I haven't watched any of the specials either, so I need
Hmm.
to do that as well. But those are going to be up on. Did they give a date? Let's see. No, they didn't give a date, but they're going to be adding them if they haven't already. At least I don't see a date here. No, that's odd that they didn't list a date. Oh well. Um, Also in the anime world, No Game No Life. It's coming to a theater here in the US.
Nice.
I'm sure you've seen plenty about this already, Christian.
Oh, tons.
At the Los Angeles Anime Film Festival on September 15th, the English dubbed version of the movie is going to be premiering there. A couple of the cast members, Scott Gibbs, Caitlin French, Shannon Emmerich, Karen Vincent Davis, are returning to the show. Kyle Jones is going to be directing it. I know a few of the voice actors are going to be there as well. I know Caitlin and Scott are going to be there. I don't know about anybody else.
Yeah, me neither. I
I
heard nothing
think there was
else.
somebody else, but I can't remember who.
I didn't see anything, so I'm not gonna throw any names.
Right, but they're going to be showing the subbed version and then the dubbed version. I think the subbed version is going to be on the night before, and then the dubbed version is the next night, or vice versa. I don't remember exactly, but that is going to be airing, or it's going to not airing, but it's going to be shown in theaters across the country as well. Details haven't dropped yet as to exactly which theaters they're going to be shown in yet. I'm crossing my fingers for one here in Raleigh.
Same here. Well, anywhere in the Chicago area that's close by, I'll make the drive.
You'll probably get one. You'll probably at a theater somewhere there because I know theaters there do
There,
anime movies.
there is one that's closer to me, but like at
Mm-hmm.
least 30 minutes away. But as long as I don't have work, I should be fine.
Right.
I got screwed out of the Girls Who Own Panzer film back last year, but I was working at the same time. Like, God damn it!
Oh, that's
Like
unfortunate.
there was no way no one covered my shift because we were short-handed that time.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully the second time won't be the same.
Hopefully not. Um, Also interesting with it, in Japan they're going to be doing 4DX screenings, which, if you aren't familiar with that, and it's an interesting thing. What it is the theaters have motion seats that move in sync with action sequences within the film, and there's effects with scents, wind, mist, uh, operations, and stuff like that. Um, so you really get the full effect of the movie in Japan. I would love to see this movie in a theater that does that. I think that'd be so cool. I think I've seen a film kind of like this. Not really a film, but they have this at like the Universal and in Disney World. They have little showings like this, and it's really neat.
Hmm.
So it'd be really
Pique
cool
my
to see an anime with something like this.
Yeah. It's kind of piqued my interest.
Yeah, that's really cool. Also, hopefully this next bit of news leads to a second season of No Game No Life because it is extremely popular. Um, No Game No Life has topped 500 million yen at the box office in Japan, which equates out to about $4.5 million US.
Jesus Christ, shit.
I know a lot of you are like, well, that doesn't sound like a lot of money for a movie. For an anime film, that's a good chunk of money.
No, it is
Um,
like I did not know this until now.
yeah, that's crazy. And I mean, it's going to make money here in the US. It's not going to make a ton of money because I believe it's only going to be airing for like maybe a weekend. That's it.
Yeah,
Um,
that's how it usually goes.
yeah, but regardless, that it's even getting an airing in the US, that's insane. Not very many anime movies get an airing in the US.
No, they don't.
I mean, it's pretty limited. So the fact that this is doing so well, I mean, I'm still hopeful for a second season. I don't think it's unreasonable for how well this is done for that to happen. Obviously, there's money to be made there, like clearly.
Yes, what I also just thought about like how many, anime movies are being shown in the US. Like we had like almost like two, three last year, and this
I
year
think more than that, but it's
I
it's not
lost count.
common. Yeah.
It's getting bigger, man. Like I just see it like more and more is gonna be added on as the years go by.
Oh yeah, it's definitely something that's getting more and more and more popular here. Um, which is fantastic. I know we come from the time when anime wasn't popular, so we've been seeing this evolve over our lifetime, and it's
Yeah,
been
definitely.
something else. But fingers crossed that a second season of this show will be announced at some point. Who knows when?
Hmm.
Um, our new favorite anime streaming service, High Dive, has announced a couple shows they're adding to their streaming service, or at least their weekly episode uploads. They're going to be doing the Ushua and Tora dub. So I I don't know if I'll check this one out. I kind of started it when it was simulcast, so maybe we'll see. I don't know. It really wasn't my cup of tea. It looked really cool. Um, you would probably like this one, Christian, if you've seen like the older one.
No, I haven't. I was going to, but I
You
just haven't
don't
got
need
around to that.
you don't need to. You can start from this, from what I've seen.
Okay.
But it's based off of like an older manga, like one that was from the 90s, I believe that's when this one was done. So the animation style has like that 90s look to it.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It's got like more of a old-fashioned style.
Yeah, and I think you'd really enjoy that.
I'll check it out. I mean, I got other shows together.
Right.
Uh, but what's the word? Uh, I can't think of the word, but there's a fancy word to it. But you know what I mean? I gotta get through like a whole list.
Oh yeah. Completely understand that. And then High Dive is also going to be streaming I know I'm going to butcher this name. Chaya Furo.
That show
Kusei.
I've been waiting for.
Yeah, they're going to be streaming that one. They announced it this past Friday that they're going to be starting to do that one. The first episode is going to premiere on Tuesday. Let's get the exact date here. That should be the 29th.
Okay, so this Tuesday.
Yep, so if you're listening to this when we put it up here on Monday, today, we're recording this one pretty late at night. So it's probably going to go up right after this. But it's going to be available tomorrow. And I'm super excited for this. It's got a fantastic cast. So definitely check that out. Um, Sentai Filmworks announced that the first new Initial D movie is going to be getting a dub.
Haha, nice.
So that's quite interesting. Um, yeah,
If I haven't seen it, it's new to me.
right. I mean, I haven't watched the series, but I know it didn't do the best Uh, but it does have its own following,
Hmm.
and I'm
I think
curious that
because
Sentai even picked this up.
I think it's one of those shows where it's like kind of like a what's the word, a niche show because
Kind
it's all
of,
about cars.
or like a cult following to a show,
Yeah,
kind of like that.
I think anime fans who are a big car fans like
Yeah.
people we know like Michael, there's a show for them.
Uh,
Me, I just want to see something different. Like I want to see what this show's all about. I haven't seen the originals, so I'm just gonna jump straight to this one and then go backwards. That's what I'm
right.
gonna do it.
I haven't seen it either. Um, but it was more curious. It was more curious to me that Sentai even picked it up since it's been a Funimation property. But it'll be interesting to see how they treat the cast in this one, what they do with it.
Yeah.
But since I've never seen the show, I have no real huge opinions about it. So we'll see. Um,
I just want to see it because it's a car show.
right.
That's my explanation.
um, Also here in other news, Girls Zoom Panzer film that opened up. When was it? In 2015, I believe, is when it opened originally in Japan.
Hmm.
Yeah, November 21st, 2015. To date, it has earned 2.5 billion yen. Yes, that's B with a, or that's a billion with a B at the box office. About 22.9 million US.
Ho ho, big money right there.
I've known that Girls Zoom Panzer's popular. I did not know it was this big.
Yeah, me neither.
I had no clue. Like I knew it was very popular, and it's been on my back burner to watch the original show forever now.
I mean,
Um,
when I saw it, I knew it's kind of special because it's something that could have been thought about many years ago. Like, okay, get some girls and let's get some tanks, mission put together, and you have girls from Panzer.
right.
But again, like I had no idea, like there was like this much popularity just because of a simple idea. I mean,
It's
what's the word?
definitely
Nope,
interesting.
nope. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it really is. Also, I believe I saw on Twitter the other day that High Dive is going to be streaming the movie soon as well.
I'm waiting for that.
So definitely be on the lookout for that. Um, but onwards, got a little bit of news from Funimation. They announced the simuldub cast for Sundara Children. I There is a lot of new people in this that I have no idea who they are.
I
I
bet.
apologize for anybody out there who's a fan of the show. I just don't know a lot of these people. Some of the names that I'm familiar with here: Austin Tyndall, Felicia Angeal, J. Michael Tatum,
Tatum's
Allison,
back.
yeah,
Oh,
Allison
nice.
Victorin,
Hmm.
Jade Saxton, Anthony Bowling's in it, Sarah Weidenhoff, I know that name. But there's a
Chris
lot of new names in it, like Dallas Reed, I don't know, Garrett Storms, Sarah Ragsdale, uh, Jeannie Tirado, Stephen Sanders, Skylar McIntosh. There's a lot of names I don't know, and I
I
really
know.
apologize. This is more or less because I don't follow a lot of Funimation dubs. Um, and this show seemed like very cookie cutter to me. It didn't seem like a show that I wanted to check out. I didn't even add it to my simulcasts. I just kind of skipped over it. Who knows? It might turn out to be a really good show, but it seems from what I've seen from other reviewers that it's kind of run of your mill cookie cutter type of a show. I mean, it has an interesting premise, but meh. um, and Tabitha Ray is directing it. Do you know Tabitha Ray? I don't know her.
You're asking the wrong person, so I'm gonna say no.
No clue. But if you're a fan of the
Yeah.
show, that's the cast, guys. Woo! um, Viz also, or getting away from Funimation here. Viz announced the Sailor Moon Super S Amazon Trio English dubcast. Um, and these characters look very interesting. But John Eric, Michael Yorkock, and Eric Scott Kimmer are going to be playing those characters.
And let me jump in for this one. So just because we're not familiar with Funimation doesn't mean we know other companies too. So let me address this. I do not know who John Eric is or Michael Jurchak. So even Los Angeles to get their own newbies here and there. So yeah, let me just get that out of the way. So Jared, go ahead, take back the reins.
All right. Um, so that's what's gonna be going on with the dubcast in that, and that's gonna be coming out on Blu-ray and DVD. Not too much to talk about there.
Oh,
um,
it's
that's
gonna be
it,
in
man.
Hulu?
What?
It's gonna be in Hulu too? Oh, it is. Okay, nice.
Yeah, they started streaming it on Hulu at some point. I
Okay.
don't really pay attention to what goes on Hulu for anime, so I wasn't even aware that it was on there. Um, but yeah, Sailor Moon's on Hulu. Cool. I did not know that. It's actually pretty neat. And it's the dub too, along with the sub, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. No, no, just the sub. No dub.
really?
Yep, just
I've
the
heard.
sub.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Sometimes they get dubs, sometimes they don't
Yep,
get
nope, just
dubs.
the sub, guys. So unfortunately, if you're looking for that English dub, you'll most likely have to buy the box sets, which Viz does a fantastic job with their box sets, so they're definitely worth owning. Um, Kind of a name we haven't heard a while though here, Discotheque. I
Oh
didn't know they were still around. To be blunt, I had no clue. I didn't know they're still licensing stuff. No clue that they still even existed. I thought they went under years ago.
no, they're surround.
That shows how much
We-
content they put out. I didn't even know they were still around. I thought they were victims of that like mid-ish 2000 company failures that happened to a lot of different companies. But apparently they're still around, and actually I'm surprised about a lot of stuff that they picked up.
Mhm.
Cyborg 009, The Cyborg Soldier, Tomorrow Joe, Project Arms, um, Naya 7, Lupin the Third, The Legend of the Gold of Babylon. Um, they actually are doing a lot of stuff with Lupin,
Mhm. Bunch of
which,
classics.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's pretty exciting right there.
Mhm.
Last that I saw that anything happened with Lupin, I know they had that new series that came out a couple years ago. And did anybody even pick that up?
I'm not too familiar.
I don't remember if anybody did.
You may want to Google search that.
Let's see. Lupin. I'll have to check it later and do an
Okay.
update on Twitter or something, or an update below on the description. But I know that there was a new series that was streaming. I know like Crunchyroll didn't pick it up. At least I don't believe they did. I think it was some obscure streaming network that picked it up. But it's exciting to see that more Lupin being picked up and that's going to get distributed at some point.
Hmm.
I know that's pretty exciting. Oh, they're also okay. Discotheque also announced the details of its upcoming release of Hells,
Oh
along
yeah,
with the news
I
here.
I
Um,
forgot about Hells. Yeah, that's the one
and
that the
yeah,
one Team Four Stars collaborating with.
yeah, that's so cool.
I'm waiting for
Okay,
that
so
one.
Discotheque is the one that's collaborating with them. Oh, that's really
Yeah.
neat. That's so interesting.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for this one. Like anything that Team Four Star works on, you know it's gonna be good.
Do you think? I think Team Four Stars turning into the next. Oh, what are the guys that did Red versus Blue and
Oh yeah, that's
Ruby?
that's Rooster Teeth.
Rooster Teeth. Yes, they're. I. That's what I think. They're honestly seems like they're like the direction they're headed now at this point.
They've even said
A
like
similar route,
they're hoping after Hells they would do more stuff like that, like do
right?
more like dubbing, and that's the best course for them to take. Like keep going. Like there's no reason to like stop. Just keep producing, keep dubbing, like find more projects, like keep expanding, keep growing, just find all these different forms of entertainment. I mean, they they produce so much great stuff over the years. Like this is the best route for them to go.
Oh, I
So yeah,
completely agree.
yeah, like I will be one of the first ones to pre-order the DVD whenever it does.
Right. Yeah,
In fact,
Discotheque is doing a lot of stuff right now, which is crazy.
hmm
The
especially that partnership with, in fact, it's two companies, both Team Force Store and this company called Sound Cadence.
hmm
Yeah, yeah, it's a what is called triathlon or Triforce, if you want to call it that way.
Right.
That's what this is, like a huge mishmash of collaboration.
Wow,
And yeah,
Discotheque is doing a lot. Like they're releasing what they're doing is it looks like they're slowly releasing all of Lupin the Third
hmm
remastered. I didn't realize that they
nice.
were doing that. I wish they would market
That's
that better because I didn't even know. Yeah, they released its second collection of Lupin the Third Part 2 with remastered video, the same as the first collection. The release will include episodes. Okay, so this is about Part 2. Part 1's already been released. 40 will include episodes 41 to 79. Japanese audio with improved English subtitles and the English dub. The release will have commentaries and an interview with Richard Epcar, the English dub
oh
director and voice of Dasuki Jigen. Lupin the Third Part 2 ran for 155 episodes. Wow. Okay, so
shit.
there's that's how they call the seasons. So there's Lupin the Third, and then there's part like obviously there's like Lupin the Third Part 1, Part 2, and they ran for so many episodes. Wow, that's insane how many episodes that is. Huh.
Yes, it sounds insane.
That's pretty neat. Yeah, if you want to check it out, it's streaming on Crunchyroll apparently. So definitely
Okay.
check that out. Discotheque will first release an English dub version of Lupin the Third Part 4. So I guess that's a new dub release. That's what it seems like. Oh, or no, it's just a dub, and then they're going to release a Japanese audio with English subtitles version of them as well. The
Okay.
two versions will have some different video content with scenes of different length and alternate animation. Uh, the English dub is going to be based on the original Italian cut of the series. It's going to include all the episodes, including the bonus episodes. The release will also feature interviews with dub directors Richard Epcar and Ellen Stern. Neat.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Lupin the Third Part 4, the first Lupin the Third television series in 3 decades to star the main character, aired in 2015. Okay. Okay. Oh, Crunchyroll did stream it. And then Toonami began airing the English dub in June. I believe this was back in 2015. That's when it aired in Italy. So I don't know. It doesn't give an exact date of when it was streamed and aired on Toonami and on Crunchyroll, but all of that's on there. Neat. Anyways, though, speaking of Crunchyroll, this came as a huge shock to me. They got the streaming rights for Food Wars. I don't know if it's exclusive,
Yeah.
but
We just talked about
it's
this.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be streaming the third season, which with how things are have worked out between them and Sentai, where Sentai kind of just went a completely different direction since Crunchyroll and Funimation did their partner up, but now Sony owns Funimation, so maybe this is Crunchyroll realizing, hey, we've got to up our game again or something.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine that this would mean that Sentai isn't going to get the home video release and the dub rights.
Yeah. There's no way they're gonna miss this out.
No. That would be insane for that to happen if some other company swooped in and picked it up. I think that'd be a huge mistake by whatever company did that
Hmm.
because they'd have to get a completely new cast. I know a lot of people, or I shouldn't say a lot of people on forums have been talking about the dub, how they weren't, at least when the trailer was aired, how they weren't impressed with it. Personally, I've watched 4 or 5 episodes now that are on High Dive. I think it's great. I,
Yeah,
I have no problems with it at all. I watched the entire subbed version of it, and I think this version is just as good, personally. So, I don't know. I think it'd be a mistake if another company tried to pick it up, but I don't think that's what's going to happen at all.
yeah, no, that kind of used to happen back in the 2000s, but that I think it's one of those, I guess, taboo or I think it's a common knowledge not to do that. Like
Right.
that was acceptable back then, but it's not acceptable anymore to try and do that shit.
Right. Especially with how the different Japanese companies have relations with different companies. I don't think that they would purposely try to screw those relationships up. But
Hmm.
I don't know. We'll see soon. I'm assuming that here in the near future we'll see that Sentai has acquired the rights and all that jazz. Uh,
Yeah.
but this fall, Crunchyroll is, and they announced a couple different things here at their convention that they just had this past weekend. The Crunchyroll Expo. One of the shows they're going to be streaming this fall, Recovery of an MMO Junkie. I think it sounds like it's probably going to be hilarious. It's about a NEET in search for a more fulfilling life. She ends up traveling to the online world, the place where she ends up as an online gamer. And then after that, wants to start a new life. It's refreshing, or or he, I should say. Wait, I'm kind of confused. Oh, okay. Uh, she, as a character, makes a character online. Starts as a new life as a refreshing, handsome young man with silky hair named Hayashi. However, Uh, she is an obvious noob and ends up dying numerous times when a lovely girl named Lily lends her helping hand. Um, blah 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 blah. Looks like just pretty much like an online life, which I think it'll be interesting. Um, Crunchyroll also added a couple more shows to its roster. Koi Koi 7, Dot Hack Roots is on their catalog now, along with Anesthesia of a Rogue Hero, Kumamiko, Sasami Magical Girls Club, Basilisk, bunch of different shows. You know, Crunchyroll, they're always adding stuff to their library constantly, which is fantastic. I mean, they have a hell of a library. Like, especially from when I started being a subscribing member to them. Oh, I think about 5 years ago now.
Hmm.
It's been a while, but they've really added a lot to the library. I mean, their memberships are more than worth it for anybody that's an anime fan. But in other news, Aria the Animation Kickstarter met its goals.
Yeah. They met two major ones. The first one was their to dub it, no, season one. Now they just went through dubbing season two, part one. Right now they're hoping to dub season two, part two, which they're almost like $10,000 away from hitting that goal.
Right, I would assume they're going to hit that goal. I know they announced. Did they announce all of the cast or just part of it?
Only part of it. Like you got Jessica Calvello, she's gonna be in it, and then Michelle Knotts, she's gonna be in it too. I think there's like a mystery person, but I'm not. But I think they might reveal it soon. Oh no, Lisa Ortiz. Lisa Ortiz. She's the third one.
What?
I'm not sure how many characters are in the series. You know, I heard some good things about it, but
Right.
I've never saw in Japanese. Like, you know, I'm probably just gonna wait for it when the dub comes out. You know,
Oh, that's what I plan on
that's
doing.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy I am. So I will say this because you can meet all three of these ladies at conventions. If I do when I do get my copy, I can get them signed.
Right.
Because I only see like maybe like three or four characters on the cover. Is it four? I forgot, but it's possible. So yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting cast choice to have.
Oh, definitely is. Um, Also here in other news, just to round out the episode here.
Hmm.
Senran Kagura game series has sold more than 1.5 or 1.65 million units.
Phew.
Yeah, that's insane for that series. Apparently, the creator was told when he was first releasing the game that it would be great if 30,000 units sold. So he's done quite well for himself, I'd say.
Yeah.
um, there's that. And apparently, he's working on a new IP as well. So maybe Beach Splash might be the last Senran Kagura game, and then he could potentially be releasing something new, or there might be more Senran Kaguras and something else new. We'll have to wait and see with that. There's going to be a new series coming out. I want to say it comes out this fall. Maybe not this fall. I don't see a release date, but it's definitely a show that kind of caught my eye. Magical Girl Apocalypse.
Oh yeah, we were just looking through that like an
Yeah.
hour ago.
Um. I I
It
know
looks
that
different.
this. Yeah, I know this genre is a little overplayed. Um. Especially since this will probably be kind of similar to Madoka Magica, but it's a horror magical girls show.
That's unheard
It's
of.
it happens. I mean, I guess that's what you could probably consider Madoka Magica to a certain extent.
Well, committed to horror, that's
Right,
different.
right. This
So
like is actually committed to it.
that's why I think this must be more. It's going to push the boundaries more than Madoka Magica. If they're planning on doing the whole slaughter, blood, and gore and the gut stuff, then
Right.
yeah, I will give the cake to this one.
So I'm
But yeah,
excited for that. Once this show does come out, it's definitely something I'm going to keep an eye on. But definitely everybody out there keep an eye on that one because it should be a pretty gory show. So
it
I'm
might
definitely looking
it
forward to that.
might even be a niche show, depending on which direction they take it.
Right. There's going to be a new Sword Art Online video game coming out in early 2018. It's going to be on PS4, Xbox One, PC via Steam. So keep an eye out for that. Um, that'll be interesting. I haven't played the other one that came out, I think last year or the year before. Um,
Mhm.
Hopefully it's better than the anime. um, Anyways, Aniplex is going to be screening the first Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel film theatrically in the U.S.
Oh, nice.
The film is going to be premiering in Japan on October 14th. There's no known date for when it's going to be premiering in the U.S., but they are going to be premiering that one here too. So there's another movie that's going to be coming out this year as well here, or
Fate,
potentially early next year. But another film that's going to be released in the U.S. or another anime film.
the Fate series, man, like it will never end.
I don't think it will. It's super popular.
Like I said, I'm just wondering how this is gonna turn out. You know how I am with the storylines and stuff.
Oh, I know.
I'm just excited because there's more, and I just hope they, the way I know they're doing like alternative endings. I'm just curious, what that alternative ending might be. I've stayed away from like spoilers, like from like going to YouTube, typing, "Hey, the ending of this part of the arc or that ending of the arc."
Right.
I've done a great job. Like I know nothing, which
Uh,
is why I'm hoping to fulfill my curiosity when this movie comes out.
oh, same. I don't know anything about it either, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. Checking out the film when it does release. Uh, whether that be if I can catch it in a theater or once a home video release is available. Definitely going to be looking forward to that to see where the story heads or what alternate direction it went into. Um, but that's it. That's all we got for you guys this week. Kind of a light news week, I'd say, for the most part. Nothing too crazy happened. Definitely some interesting, like I said, definitely interesting stuff with Netflix. A couple different releases, that sort of a thing. Um, before I forget, Sentai released their December box set uh, list, which there was nothing too crazy on there. They're basically, besides the initial D dub, the first movie is going to be releasing in December. Other than that, they're repackaging a couple 2 season shows into one box set, which is I love it when they do that. Um, Unfortunately, I already own most of the ones that they're doing this to, but there's a few on there that I can pick up. Like I believe that what Christian, I think Cross Ange was one,
Hmm.
um, or was Chaka one?
Yep.
Yeah,
Clanad.
yeah, Clannad. And there was
Uh,
there was I think one or two others, but that's what Sentai's doing in December. Nothing too crazy to go over there. But other than that, that's all we got for you this week, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Um, I do want to here at the end discuss a little bit of our reformatting, how we're going to be doing the news versus our the shows we've been currently watching, because I know we kind of got away from that. Um, what's going to be happening is we're going to be doing the news podcast once a week now instead of once every 2 weeks, and that's going to be moving to a Tuesday release date. This current episode that we're recording right now, it's going up today on Monday, like usual. But taking its place every other Monday instead of a voice actor interview, we're going to be doing discussions about the shows that we're watching. I know previously we kind of tried to throw that in towards the end of the episodes, but honestly, with how much news we've been going over, that hasn't been a realistic option. So we're going to do a little bit shorter news episodes every week, probably somewhere between, I don't know, 25 to 45 minutes long, depending upon how the news goes during the week. And then on Mondays, we're going to be doing, uh, what would you say, Christian? Probably 30 minutes to an hour long of us discussing what shows we're watching, I'd say. That's
yeah,
that's what I
some in
would
that
aim
ballpark.
for. But definitely keep a lookout for that. We should be starting that next week. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. Next week is an interview, so definitely look out for Tuesday for the first episode of our news series to come out. But other than that, like I said, thank you for tuning in. Definitely check out Attack on Titan Wall Scroll giveaway, Blake Shepard's Patreon for Robot Girl, Twitter, all our other videos. Give us a like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. It really helps us out a lot if you do that. But other than that, guys, uh, we'll catch you later.
Bye.